Yeah. Alright. Showing that I have at least 3 people in here. Okay, my name is VID00001. I'm here to talk about safety in law enforcement. I've been in law enforcement for approximately 9.5 years. First 2.5 years I spent in law enforcement, I spent in patrol. My duties in patrol included traffic enforcement, narcotics interdiction, domestic calls, other calls of that nature. After those 2.5 years, I went to CID, the Criminal Investigative Division. I spent 5 years in the CID division. My primary duties in that division was to investigate crimes that included property crimes, rape, robbery, and even homicide. After that, I left that department and I now work part-time at a sheriff's department. I've done that for the past 1.5 years. A little bit about what I want to talk about is safety in law enforcement and how to keep yourself safe. Last year there was 179 officers killed in the line of duty. When I talk about law enforcement safety, probably everybody thinks about body armor, your duty weapon, taser, stuff like that, but really be safe, you have to be in the right frame of mind. Like, did you get enough sleep the night before? You have problems at home or stuff like that. Any little problem like that can keep you distracted. If you're answering calls or making traffic stops, if your mind's not on the traffic stop or the call, you can miss clues a suspect would be given that he might be willing or wanting to hurt you. And suspects they will catch on to that. They will catch on to your not paying attention, and that's when they'll strike. Other distractions would include, like if you're going to a call or just normal traffic accidents. Last year, 10% of those deaths were attributed to just normal traffic accidents, not going to a call or pursuit or anything, just normal traffic accidents. Next thing I want to talk about is the body armor. The thing about body armor is nobody likes to wear it. It's uncomfortable, it's hot, you can't wash it. The only thing you can wash is the carrier that it's in. So, it's not a good thing. Most officers don't like it. But the good thing about body armor is it can save your life. And another good thing about it, in the wintertime, it is warm, so you have extra layer of clothing there. Little story about the body armor was one time my chief and assistant chief and I were eating breakfast one day. We got a call of an elderly lady that had a gun. The postal worker had stopped by to drop off the mail. When she dropped off the mail, the lady had a gun and stated that she was holding 2 people captive because they were trying to rob her. Well, they also informed dispatcher there was nobody else there. She was imagining that. So we proceeded to go try to defuse the situation. When right there, I figured out that I didn't have my body armor with me. We were, like I said, I was in CID at the time, and assistant chief and chief, we were all in street clothes, so we didn't wear body armor all the time we worked. So on the way there, we picked up my body armor from the police department and we proceeded to the call. Once we got there, the chief and assistant chief approached the lady. Assistant chief put her body armor on, the chief didn't for some reason. And once they got up there, they talked to the lady, and sure enough, she told them that she was holding 2 people there because they were trying to rob her. Well, there was nobody there. She was older, probably had Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that, but she did have a loaded .38 pistol. They could tell it was loaded. Well, it turned out good. She didn't do anything. She realized that we were police officers and the situation was diffused. But it could have been a bad situation because Chief didn't have his body armor on. Next thing I want to talk about is taser. Taser is a less than lethal weapon that's valuable to police departments across the country. It was implemented in around early 90s. The taser can deliver about 50,000 volts of electricity at a 5-second burst. 99.7% of the time when the suspect is tased, there is no injury. There's a couple red marks maybe a little bit of bruising, but that's it. It's a very safe tool in the arsenal for police departments, police officers. Taser can be used when deadly force would be justified. Say a bigger guy attacks an officer that's smaller in stature, and if he has a taser, he can tase him and that'll stop the attack. But if he doesn't have a taser, he might have to resort to deadly force to keep him from harming him, and that officer would be justified in doing that. There's no telling how many people, suspects and victims, have been saved by the use of tasers in the past. Next thing I want to talk about is pepper spray. Before the taser, all we had was pepper spray and batons. Pepper spray can be very good weapon if needed in crowds, like if there's a crowd fighting or something like that. But the problem with pepper spray is that if the wind's blowing, it can blow it back in your face, in the officer's face, or if the suspect you're trying to spray throws his hand up to block the spray, it can come back in your face, and that has happened to me. Last thing I want to touch on is your duty weapon. Everybody pretty much knows if you have to pull a gun, there's a chance you'll have to use deadly force, and it's a bad situation, but you have to carry that, and sometimes when it comes to that, you have to use it. You have to protect the safety of the public and protect yourself. So once again, I would just like to reiterate that, state of mind when you go to work, you have to be in a good state of mind when you go to work to be able to catch clues when suspects may be wanting to attack you or wanting to harm you. The thing about it is, the suspect knows when he's going to do something. You don't ever know when that suspect's going to do it. So every person you approach, you have to be careful, and you have to be ready for the worst. You have to be ready to react. Thank you.